Hey, what's up, guys? Just thought I'd make a quick video here talking about the Wii U and giving my thoughts on it. I already gave my opinion on console gaming so far with the PS4 and the Xbox One. It's a video I did quite a while back. But I figured, why not talk about the Wii U? Because I said in that video that, well, the Wii U is not really worth mentioning because of hardware specs and other things that really for a future gaming console, it just doesn't seem practical to own as a standalone console. While the Xbox One and the PS4, I thought, really were consoles that you could own and really enjoy because of the lack of third-party titles for the Wii U, or at least more so than what the competition has. But I'm gonna try not to bag the Wii U a lot in this video. I just kind of want to give the positives of why I would like to get a Wii U, but the things that are holding me back on getting a Wii U. Again, I would love to get a Wii U. I've always liked Nintendo systems. Granted, I haven't liked them in the past couple generations, mainly because, they really weren't worth owning a lot of the times. And especially with the Wii, they really tried to milk hard the fact that their, first-party games never went under like $50. They were always $50 for a long time. And that always bothered me, and that actually prevented me from buying a lot of stuff for the Wii. But the Wii actually had some other games that I did like. I liked a lot of the third-party titles that you could get for the Wii. So it had some games. It wasn't like kind of like with the Wii U right now where there's really not much other than first party. There are some third-party titles, but you can get them over on the other systems. So they really don't seem worth it. Versus the Wii where you could get certain games and they were only on the Wii. So they weren't too bad of games, but the Wii did have a lot of shovelware. It really did. So I didn't tend to buy a lot of stuff for the Wii. And that's kind of been one of the things holding me back from buying the Wii U. Not only the console's price itself, but the actual just lack of games. I would love to see more games come to the Wii U, but it's unfortunate that it's just hasn't been getting the games. And I think hardware-wise, it is going to be limited in what it can actually do. I mean, once the next big game comes around, the Wii U's not going to be able to do it. Right now, the Wii U can pretty much do a lot of the games that are coming out right now because, the PS3 and 360 are still getting ports. And I would say the Wii U is about a PS3 spec machine. But once we start seeing, games push forward and we get to, say, maybe the next Grand Theft Auto game or the next Elder Scrolls game or any of the really big games, you're going to start seeing Wii U, start losing competition, which I think is very unfortunate. I think it'd be kind of cool if, well, I think it would be definitely cool and definitely appealing if the Wii would just drop their price. I think the price for the Wii U is too expensive. $250 isn't a lot of money, but when you compare it to, say, the PS3 and you compare what the PS3 offers to what the Wii U offers, it really does seem a bit lackluster. The fact that you can play movies and, the vast game selection that you just don't have on the Wii U. It's just, if you compared both, it's like, wow, the PS3 seems like just a much better deal, Not only does it offer more games, but it offers the ability to play movies as well, which some people may be interested in. But if I were to get a Wii U, for one, I would like for them to drop the price. I want them to stop making this 8 gig and 32 gig model or whatever models they make. Just give us one big standalone model. Give us a 32 gig model and that's it. Because even when people price it, they're going to go up there and say, okay, I want to get a Wii U or a PS3, or maybe I just want to get a new game system. What would you suggest or what do you have here? Well, the PS3 has 250 gigs, while the Wii U only has 32. And most consumers don't need to know a lot about hardware to know, well, this one has more space, so I could potentially hold more games. The PS3 has a bigger library. So to really get an edge, I really think they need to start cutting the price of the Wii U. And they need to cut out the two models. They just need to have one model, one 32 gig model, and the 32 gig model needs to be $250. Right? And then make it $300 with a game. I mean, come on, that should be the least you should do. Now I understand people are going to say, well, it's because of the controller. You know, the controller's a tablet and it costs a lot of money. Well, you shouldn't have backed yourself in the corner to begin with that. Yeah, it's a cool idea, but it's not going to be like the Wii. You know, the Wii had motion gaming, so you could actually play games different, and it would work. You know, playing stuff with like the Wii Wheel or the Wii Mote, it made sense. But with the Wii U tablet controller, it's like, yeah, it's cool that you can do like the cross play and all that, but even now, you know, you got the Vita that can do the gaming on, I think, PS3. I'm not sure if it does PS4, but they had a thing where you could do that. So I understand it's pretty well executed. From what I understand, it's really well executed on the Wii U, and I heard on PlayStation it's not quite as good. Um, but I'm just saying, it just seems like, doesn't seem like there's much incentive to buy the Wii U. So I think making a price drop would be something that they could do that would really entice me, because I'd love to play the new Donkey Kong game. That looks really, really well done. The new Mario game looks well done. Mario Kart. Um, Out of all the times I've owned Nintendo systems, I have not owned a Mario Kart game. I've played them all, but I've never actually owned one. So the new Mario Kart looks pretty fun, but they really just need to start getting some other third-party games. And I know people are going to say, well, Bayonetta 2 was a big game, but really, I didn't think it was that huge of a game. It definitely wouldn't be a reason for me to buy the Wii U. In fact, I don't have much of an interest in Bayonetta to begin with. I liked the first game, but it wouldn't be enough for me to buy a Wii U. That's all I'm saying about that. But, you know, I'm sure it's a good game, but it's just not enough for me to want to buy it, you know. Um, the tablet controller is a cool idea, but I mean, I don't really have much to say on the tablet controller, you know. It seems like a cool idea. I've held one. They feel pretty comfortable, but, you know, it worked, like I said, back in the days of the Wii with the Wiimote and the Wii Wheel and stuff, because it made sense, you know. It was stuff that you could make the game funner, you know, playing like the tennis game. I'd rather play, you know, Sega's Tennis, you know, on the Wii than play it on Xbox or something. You know, or playing Sega's All-Star Racing and getting to use the Wii Wheel, or playing Mario Kart, you know. Um, for what Nintendo does, they do it well, but you can't just keep riding on that. You can't keep riding on the fact that, well, we did a really good game, but, you know, there's other games that are a lot bigger that have a lot more time to put into them, and these games, while they're good, there's only so much you can do. You know, it's just something where, oh, I turn the Wii on every now and then. You know, the Wii U, if I had one. But I'd really like to get one. They do seem pretty appealing to me. I just really like those old school kind of games, and really that's what the Wii U offers, is a lot of old school type of games. Granted, a lot of people say, oh, but it's the same games over and over again, and I'm not going to disagree there, but especially with the Wii, when the Wii started releasing a lot of those games, it started to release it when the system was dying, and then the Wii just kind of went off the map, and you didn't really see it anymore, the games. So I kind of missed out on like Skyward Sword and the Donkey Kong Returns game, and I have Mario Galaxy, and I've got Twilight Princess on the GameCube. So I have somewhat newer Nintendo games, but I don't have Mario Kart, and you know, I wouldn't mind playing the new Mario Kart game. I played the Wii one at my cousin's house all the time. That's probably one of the best games on the Wii that I played. It was really fun. So I'd like to play Mario Kart 8. Um, Monster Hunter 3 Ultimate is a good game. I already have it, though, on the Wii. I don't have the Ultimate version, but I just can't see myself getting that just to buy that game, even though it's a really good game, because I know Monster Hunter 3 was a good game. So I could tell if that was on the Wii U, it's probably really good, you know. They have good games, it's just the system itself is just too much to put on, you know. It's $250, $300, or even more than that is too much, you know. And even if I gave 250 for it, and it's like, oh, it's a 8 gig model. Like, I don't want an 8 gig model. I want a good one. But I don't want to have to give an arm and a leg when I can get a PS3 that's $250 and I can get a 500 gig PS3, or a 250 gig PS3 or whatever they have out there, I can get something with way more storage and more features like playing Blu-rays and DVDs and stuff. It just seems more potentially worthwhile to have one of those than have the Wii U. It just really doesn't do anything for me, you know. Again, I wouldn't mind having one, but I just can't see spending the money. So that's really my opinion on the Wii U. I think it's a good system, just costs too much. It's really the big problem with it, and the lack of third-party games, which I don't think anyone ever really, since, Nintendo 64 or so, has ever made Nintendo their primary game system. Unless they really like Nintendo, most people aren't going to make that their primary system. It's usually their secondary system. Oh, well, I'll get the Nintendo exclusives, or the couple of Nintendo games. They're not Nintendo first party, but they're exclusives, Get some of those, or get the first party Nintendo games. I mean, I could understand that, so. But I made this video actually earlier, but it went into like 15 minutes, and I just want to, I'm at 11 minutes right now. I just kind of wanted to close out this video with, yes, I do find interest in the Wii U. Would I like to get one? Yes, when they price drop it a bit. But until then, I just can't see myself giving the money for one, to be honest. Seems like a good system, though, and I wouldn't mind having one in the future. So that's my thoughts on the Wii U. Take care, and we'll see you next time.